For now, we've got Maru looking around with this Reaper, wants to see, hey, MAXPAX, you got any proxies? You got any proxies? Any proxy Stargates? No proxy Stargate. It is going to be the Zealot first, though, which is something we're starting to see a lot of players going for. A lot of the Korean players are actually starting to do the Zealot first. And, I mean, it's... For me, I'm not the biggest fan of it because so often players do go for this early Reaper. But it does kind of ensure a little bit of scouting information. And he might even be able to get a little bit of damage on this SCV. It's going to be up to Maru to micro that. Oh, he pulls it into the fight and loses it. That was a kind of an uncharacteristic miss micro right there for Maru right out of the gate.
Yeah, and this Zealot will go down here. But I think it's a fair trade-off delaying that command center for a solid 5-6 seconds. We have the Stalker now come down in, but there is a Widowmine here at the front of the natural to kind of deflect that Stalker from coming in. But a nice little early win, small win there by MAXPAX.
Yeah, and once again, that didn't need to go down. That SCV didn't need to go down. You don't want to be too critical, but we kind of expect this from one of the greatest Terrans of all time, that he would save the SCV. So maybe still getting warmed up a little bit. Obviously, we're going to keep an eye on every little thing throughout the game and overanalyze it and be super critical, because that's what casters do. That's what we're paid to do, is make the players look bad. That's our goal. We're not here to celebrate StarCraft. We want to make them look bad.
Well, we want to make them look bad and just set off Twitch chat.
Oh, of course. That's what we're here for. We do see a 4-gate Blink Stalker, by the way, from MAXPAX. This is something that he was a really, really big fan of for quite a while. And he's very good at finding damage with it. It's going to be interesting to see how Maru deflects that, how he manages to deal with that. We do have this double Widowmine drop coming on in. I like to call it the Big Gabe opener. Oh, the Widowmine. Ooh, nice burrow, unburrow coming on in here. Will go off on a single probe, and he gets the double probe pull. Oh, MAXPAX. Oh, MAXPAX. Oh, okay. Giving me a little bit of heart palpitations in the morning here. Oh, the probes. No. Oh. Okay. Well, he gets a Stalker, which is pretty decent, but that actually could have been game ending right at the beginning. And already a lot of pressure being exerted, and he gets the medevac out. I would say that's pretty successful right there for MAXPAX. And it looks like on the other side of the map, the Widowmine might have gotten a pickoff somewhere.
All right, Reaper here, just scouting, see if there is a third base coming down yet or not. Just going to hang out there, going to jump into the main base to scout what's coming up. Does see the Warp Prism moving on out there with the Stalkers. So does give Maru the heads up that attack is incoming his way. Does pay for it with his life. That sacrifice will be remembered. Stalker's kind of pulling back now. Looks like he wants to warp in a few more, join in together. Blink is finished. Clearly haven't been paying attention for the first few minutes of this game. But there is this bunker here. There is a tank now sieged up. Now he's going to need that Warp Prism to get vision of the high ground. There's a beautiful tank position right by the command center. Yeah, I think Maru's in a really good position here.
Yeah, he's got a really nice defense. He did start his stim up in probably the worst place he could have, and it instantly gets canceled. Makes an otherwise great defense a little bit less sharp, but still, he's got that great tank setup. We do see a little counterattack on the other side. Just a Raven for an auto turret. And it will be able to grab... Oh, he's going to grab quite a few probes here. Actually, the second one is going to get a lot done. We will see a blink into the natural from MAXPAX. Picks off the tank right there, and the other tanks are not in a great position. We already saw the bunker going down. Now, a lot of probes did fall for MAXPAX, but he is going to have a pretty decent time here. Very parting-esque with this 4-gate Blink Stalker so far. Ooh, but he does take a pretty big shot right there. Still, he's in behind the mineral line, and this is a big map. It's tough to cover all your bases as Maru.
All right, tank is going to re-siege on the low ground. Second tank does show up on the high ground, but still a lot of workers going down here. 11 in total going down in this push. And almost picked off a medevac there too. Going to blink on top of this tank. One tank does go down. Second's tank is still around. It's going to siege up just now. And I do love this, the observer that MAXPAX has in the natural base of Maru. Able to see what's there. Going to blink into the main base. Now going to take out another add-on. Stim has finished up, but he's going to take out combat shields this time around. I'm sorry, Stim hasn't finished up. Stim is still quite a ways away. Maru in a little bit of trouble here.
Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble. Oh, MAXPAX though overstays. He loses about 5 stalkers right there. A lot of them in the red, kind of getting pinched off right there. Oh man, right up until that point, this was going well enough for MAXPAX because he's got a 3rd Nexus behind us. Even though he's losing a lot of probes, he would be able to transition, and of course that stim and combat shields have been significantly delayed. But he lost about 5 stalkers right there on the tail end, and now things are going to get a lot more difficult for him. We do have him moving forward. This is a signature move of MAXPAX. After the 4-gate blink stalker has been deflected, is he then puts 4 stalkers in a war prism. Of course, you're able to one-shot SCVs, one-shot Marines before that combat shields comes online, and it's a really, really powerful move. But 17 stalkers right there, our observer showing us, and both players losing about an equal number of workers. As I say that, more probes going down on the main base to this continued auto-turret harass. The Raven has really been MVP. Without that Raven, we're looking at like 60, 62 probes for MAXPAX, and he's potentially running away with this game. But that Raven really, really doing some incredible work.
Absolutely here. And I do like how earlier on Maru was not dropping both the Raven turrets at once, waiting for one to finish up, then the second one to maximize lost mining time for MAXPAX there. Just small little mind games from our Korean Terran, keeping him in this. Now he is going for that double medevac drop. 16 Marines going to go straight towards the main base. I believe this will hit just as +1 combat shields and +1 shields and combat shields finishing up here. And Maru immediately catching that observer with the help of the turret and a scan there.
Yeah, bit of a mistake right there from Matt. Oh, this probe. Very nice timing right there. Oh, he even stops building the pylon. So good job for MAXPAX. Doesn't just lose that. We'll see the recall. He will finally take out that Raven. Oh, that one probe getting saved. It's a little robotic life flashed before its eyes there for a moment before it was saved by the helping hand of those stalkers. Now, MAXPAX is, despite losing all those workers early, and of course losing a ton of stalkers, he did still do a decent bit of damage. So we are going to head into the mid game on relatively even footing. The main advantage right now is that Maru has 1-1 very, very early. So obviously the stim and the combat shields were delayed heavily, but that +1 upgrade was not, and Maru kept the +1 armor going as well. So that's probably the biggest advantage right now, is that upgrade lead.
All right, this Zealot here will scout out this 3rd base coming on down, letting MAXPAX know that Maru is coming onto Evil Q with him. We do have a charge lot drop in coming into the main base here. Is he going to warp in more, or is he just going to keep these 3 here? No, he's going to just keep those 3 there. We'll take out 2 workers, a couple other units, and get on out with the 1 charge lot.
Yeah, not really worth it right there. I would have really preferred to see him wait until he saw a move out from Maru, and then maybe warp in a big round of Zealots, try and hold with a couple Colossus at home. He did warp in Sentries a little while back. That's going to give him the option for Guardian Shield. And of course, on Glittering Ashes, there are a lot of ramps into your relevant bases. The thing is, you still need to see, especially as you're getting up to 4 bases, which ramp the Terran player decides to push up into. So having those Sentries is only beneficial if you've got the great vision to go alongside with it. We do see the scan comes down, sees that Robo. Knowing Maru, he should be able to figure out that that is a most likely 2nd Robo, and he is going to start moving out here. Nice job for MAXPAX, picks off the Widowmine, spots his army. Ooh, does lose a Stalker though.
Yeah, and while that's going down, we do have a charge lot run by here. I'll drop into the main base, run by into the natural and 3rd base there. This will force Maru back. He's going to go back home to deal with this. Starting to get quite a few worker kills. 9 workers there, 10 workers going down.
Widowmines?
Gets 1 Widowmine, gets 2 Widowmines. Widowmines do go off, but don't really take out the charge lots. They're going to take out a few Marines as well. 11 workers in total going down. A lot of delayed mining, denied mining at that natural. And essentially pulled this entire push back and stopped Maru in his tracks. Now, Maru does have ghosts out, so we are going to start seeing some EMPs coming out. And am I seeing this right? He's double pumping Colossi and Disruptors.
Yes, that is, of course, the power of that double Robo, is you can transition on a dime. Especially the Disruptors, they build, the Colossus build very slowly, but Disruptors build relatively fast for their power. And so you can find yourself in a really good position in terms of tech units very quickly. Now, it is worth noting that Maru didn't start his 2-2 for a very, very, very long time. So despite him having that upgrade advantage, he wasn't able to really capitalize it. Ooh, big EMP coming on in. Stalkers, though, will disengage successfully. And MAXPAX is just staying very active with these Stalkers, keeping tabs on Maru's army. This is the vision game that I was kind of alluding to a little bit earlier. And now he's up to 3 Colossus. He's going to actually have 2-1 before Maru's 2-2 kicks in. Going to be an ebb and flow of upgrade leads right here. Now, all the Colossus are on the left side, which means the right side army won't be as powerful in a straight-up fight. Nice EMP right there, draining one of the sentries. The other one only has a little bit. Disruptor actually clips a Marauder. Nice job.
Yeah, I guess one Marauder there will force Maru back on the right side here, and it looks like MAXPAX is going to rotate around and try to... Ooh, takes a Widowmine to the face of that one Zealot. Going to try to come around and catch that army, but Maru is fully disengaging, heading back to his base here. Another Widowmine to the face.
Nice job with from MAXPAX, though, target firing his own Stalkers. Look at how fluidly and smoothly he did that. A lot of players, it takes them a little while to adapt and learn new micro tricks. I feel like MAXPAX, whenever he learns something new, it's adapted into his, like, I don't know, super powered brain so quickly, and it's something he does now. It's not like, for me, I try and micro, and it looks like I got bananas for hands. Like, I'm rolling around on the keyboard. Everything's terrible. MAXPAX, though, so fluid right there. Does it without skipping a beat. Now, I want to talk about the value of those Widowmines. They watch the rotation. They catch it. And so MAXPAX is not able to get that really nice army collapse. A lot of really dynamic army movement coming on down. And we saw just there a nice cancel on the 5th base by Maru. Overall, we could be going very, very late game here.
Yeah, we're going into those siege, the extended Liberator range, double pumping those Liberators to deal with the Disruptors here. I wouldn't... Do you see a Stargate transition here coming from MAXPAX at all?
He's not the kind of player that really is a big fan of, like, Tempest or Carrier transitions, but he's going to need it. You can't... Once Maru is set up on 4 bases, you can't really break him, and he's going to try, maybe... Does he some big EMPs? Good job for Maru there to kind of initiate on that. Meanwhile, Disruptor, Stalker, and a couple of Zealots going to hold the line on the other side. But there's no beef to this army. I kind of alluded to it before. All the Colossus are in one of the army groups. Oh, little Widowmine shot does go off, hits a couple of units. Man, Maru is doing such a good job at having these Widowmines just... They really are acting as his own observers. I feel like I haven't seen this before, and this is so cool to me.
And it is probably one of the more frustrating styles to play, is those Widowmines just everywhere. I'm actually surprised MAXPAX doesn't have more observers with his army, just walking into, what, 5 Widowmines now throughout the map?
Yeah, it's not so much about the damage, it's more about the information that they give, and it's so valuable to have that info. But yeah, alluding to what your point was earlier, we do need to see most likely a Stargate transition eventually coming on down. We do have DTs, and Blink is very far along, as well as MAXPAX. Actually, both players really on point with their upgrades. 332, that +2 Liberator, well, +2 ship upgrade, going to bring the Liberators to a huge power spike. 2-shotting Stalkers instead of 3-shotting them. And then, of course, the regular 3-3 upgrade, just making your bio stronger overall. MAXPAX also not skipping a beat on his upgrades. Well, and there it is. There is that Stargate coming on down. So we should see the Fleet Beacon transition most likely behind us.
All right, MAXPAX going to come up the ramp, shoot a few Disruptor shots, does more zoning than anything else, does take an EMP to the clump of his Stalker, so he is going to disengage here. Maru going to rotate around with the Stalker, with his Liberators and Vikings, keeping MAXPAX at bay here. Going to jump in here, will take out that sensor tower, will take out one tank. Yes, it does. But will pull back out. DT's finally... Nope, DT's choosing not to go in. Or is it going to wait for their brethren?
Yeah, it looks like they want to wait. It looks like they want to wait for just a couple more of those units. As Maru, you might not be expecting DTs to blink in on top of an orbital, because, of course, the classic move is to snipe planetaries. Oh, the DTs, oh, they might reveal themselves here. Not exactly what you want to do. We are going to see, oh, Disruptor shot getting dodged. Nice job. There's the SCVs. And that's what I was kind of talking about. You don't really expect DTs on this right side over here. MAXPAX is going to get some nice worker damage. And now going to move in on the left side, but that is far from vulnerable. Ooh, MAXPAX needs to blink away. How many DTs does he lose? He's already lost about half of them. Will manage to escape on out, but yeah.
But Maru here now able to take a 5th base? Yes, 5th base. Can I count to 5? Yes, that's a 5th base. And 2 more Stargates finishing up here, and the Fleet Beacon, as you mentioned, +1. Do you think it'll be Tempest, or do you think it'll be Carriers or Speed Rays?
I was going to say, it's usually either carriers or Tempests. Tempests, if the player is very confident in their control. Carriers, if they feel like just having a big, beefy, powerful army. I do think Tempests are the better option, but I also think they're a lot more difficult to control. And one bad fight, and you get jumped on. And look at that. We do have Tempest. He started up those carriers initially and says, you know what? No, this is Maru. I have to play my absolute best. And so far, he is playing a damn good game. We're going to see the Colossus. They actually do find a bit of an opening, but a couple of Liberators here will be a bit of a problem. War Prism in the main base does get turned away. MAXPAX is doing a really, really good job of just playing around the defensive setup of Maru. Oh, and now I think he might be able to get a snipe on this base. He's going to blink it on top of it. The repair is not going to be enough. Those +3 DTs have so much DPS.
And 8 workers along with it going on down on that side of the map. But at this point in the game, I don't think Maru is too worried about losing workers. He does have the almighty Mule to compensate for them. He still, after all, is on 51 SCVs. But that also just means more army supply available to him.
Yeah, and he might decide to... Actually, it looks like he really does want to push across the map right here. MAXPAX needs to be in position to deal with this. He doesn't have really anything on this base. Do we see a quick recall? No, we are not. I would have loved to see an EMP on the Nexus to make sure there was no recall, but it's just going to go down anyways. DTs on the other side of the map are going to come in. Nuke for zoning purposes. This is very interesting. Both players do have a decent bank, but MAXPAX's is a fair bit bigger. But if one side takes a really good fight, the bank isn't big enough to compensate for that. Ooh, another DT run by. This time there are Liberators in range, but he blinks in on the SCV side. That's going to block the repair just a little bit, but it's not enough. This will stay alive, and that is going to be a lot of losses for MAXPAX right there.
Yeah, between the Liberator and the Planetary Fortress, they were able to take out enough DTs there to save that Planetary Fortress. Mass Repair did also come on down and really save that base there for Maru. Now Maru is going to rotate around. Maru's been really wanting to push down here. He has had that one push where he took out that one base. And that was actually the first time Maru did go onto MAXPAX's side since essentially MAXPAX pushed him away earlier with that charge lot drop. Disruptor Shot's going to come in, get some decent chunks here. The Liberators are going to jump on top of the air units and the Colossi. The Colossi are going down. Oh my god, is Maru going to do it here? He's collapsing in on top of MAXPAX. MAXPAX's army has pretty much just one Disruptor now. The charge lots have been cleaned up on the ground. The base has been evacuated. 10 probes did go down here. And that's another win there for Maru.
Yeah, that's probably the game-deciding fight right there. I don't think MAXPAX can muster up enough of a force now, not with these massive numbers of Liberators. He doesn't have time to get up an air army. And the ground army, he just can't... You can't deal with this many Liberators with just Warpins. You need so much more, or you need like 3 rounds of Warpins. And of course, there's a bunch of ground units here for MAXPAX. Meanwhile, Nuke on the left side, it is going to come down, will clear out 8 probes and all the static defense. Maru going to kill 3 bases in a row. So to break down that fight a little bit more, what happened right there is MAXPAX, he was in a position where if his static defenses are done, I think he actually can make that hold. But because they weren't up and running yet, he ends up just getting massively concaved on. And we see Maru recognizing the weakness of the Tempest, and that is fighting in a heads-up battle. They look to kite and gain value over time, unlike those carriers, which is big, beefy, hit them with a big stick units.
Absolutely. And yeah, I don't think he's gone to the critical mass of carriers yet either, but even if he did get there, there's enough AA here from Maru to deal with the carriers. He only has 3 out right now, and even them, they don't have all their interceptors. He has 5 out now. This is looking really good for Maru.
Yeah, I don't really see how you bring this back as MAXPAX. Now Disruptors, oh, it does get a big shot, and oh my god, all the ghosts just get deleted right there, and now it's just Liberator Viking left over. But of course, that is going to do very well against these carriers, especially in these numbers, and they've got +3 ship weapons. Still, that is a little bit of a concern for Maru, even in victory. Those Disruptor shots were massive at the very end, but ultimately he does take down game number 1 with extraordinarily good decision-making. And, I mean, that was a good game. That was a good game overall from both players.
All right. Spawning in the bottom left corner in the blue Terran pieces for Onside Gaming, we have Maru.
And his opponent spawning up the top right, representing Storm Gaming. It is MAXPAX in the yellow.
Now, one thing I really appreciate about MAXPAX is, and Maru too, as well, you mentioned that they both started off rather young early on in their lives. They also both have seemed to have consistently evolved their play and have adapted to the meta as it changes. MAXPAX started off with the MAXPAX build, right? It was I think it was Beastie Cutie that originally discovered that build, playing against it, and that MAXPAX isn't the MAXPAX we're seeing today. Same with Maru. Like, was it like 2 years ago? Maru was Mr. Build every building in my base outside of my base.
Yeah, the innovation from these two players cannot be denied. That is a really great point. They're both on the bleeding edge. Not just, I would say they're meta setters, if anything. Maru is constantly doing things that we don't think are possible, that other players deem to be impossible, and he's like, no, I'll just do that. MAXPAX coming up with new builds, like you said. I mean, he literally has a build named after him, and it kind of dominated the meta for like at least several months at the pro level, and I feel like it dominated the ladder meta for much, much longer than that.
We even saw an appearance a couple times in GSL with that build.
Yeah, exactly. Parting took a lot of inspiration from MAXPAX. It's been very cool to watch these two players develop. Of course, their timelines are very different, but it is neat to see them meeting up here. Kind of a neat little story. MAXPAX still looking for that first map win against Maru, but I mean, based on game one, he definitely has the chops to do it.
Absolutely. Now, and yeah, he had Maru on the run there for a bit. Like, he had Maru contained. I just wasn't able to finish it off there. All right, so
yeah,
this
I mean
sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say that's kind of Maru's strength, right? Is he's like he's so difficult to finish off. Now, I like this usage of the Zealot a lot more than we saw in game number one. Oh, wait, is he? Wait, what? Okay, never mind. I thought he was gonna run into the natural with that, and I was like, oh man, that's awesome. That was. He had a chance to slow down that command center a lot. He still probably might. Widowmine. Oh, okay. Well, that didn't go at all planned for MAXPAX. He still will have the Zealot baiting out the Widowmine, and he still should be able to get a lot done to this command center, but he was hoping that the Probe would bait out the Widowmine, and then he'd have Zealot, Stalker. As it is, this is still a lot of pressure, and Maru is going to have this command center delayed once again, which is a pretty big deal.
All right, MAXPAX just going to, yeah, like you said, keep the command center delayed, also putting in quite a bit of hurt on that. Gonna force Maru to come out with a sizable army to push this back. One Widowmine will burrow here. Second Widowmine gonna burrow. Nice positioning of those Widowmines, so there's no way the Stalkers could dance around them into the natural, and will allow that command center to finish. But that command center was delayed, what, a solid 30 seconds, 45 seconds here?
Yeah, well, like 20 to 30 seconds, definitely pretty good. I do feel like it was even still like a bit of a missed opportunity, but a nice little move. And now the Widowmines move out, and MAXPAX moves back in. Two Stalkers, enough to two-shot SCVs, two-shot Marines. Very nice little counter move. We are going to see this Widowmine drop coming in on the other side of the map. And, I mean, it's going to have to get a decent bit of damage. Already two SCVs getting picked off. Dark Shrine does get scouted. Here comes the triple Widowmine drop. Maru, I was going to say I would love to see him burrow, unburrow right here. Try and distract his opponent a little bit. Oh, the Widowmines. Probably get 4 probes overall. But more importantly, he's going to save, I think he saves 2 of them. And will keep this threat alive. This feels like SOS right now with the Stalkers. They're doing so much damage to this command center. They're actually going to set it ablaze.
Yeah, Maru's going to have to force to deal with this right now. Otherwise, he's going to lose it. Repairs do come on in. Marines are going to jump on this. These are unupgraded Marines. These are Marines without combat shield, without stim. Finally, a tank will show up and deal with that, but we're at the 5-minute marks, folks, and Maru hasn't been able to mine from his natural. Another Widowmine drop going to come on in here. Good pull by MAXPAX. Gonna start unburrowing, burrowing. Stalkers will be here to deal with that. We'll first force the permanent burrow. and they will be cleaned up here. Another drop into the main base. Just going to take out one more probe. Oh, he might lose. Nope, medevac will get out in time. We'll save the one Widow Mine. Just going to hang out here, be a little bit of a nuisance. But yeah, both... oh, he lost to one DT. I didn't see the DT even go out.
Yeah, that must have been happening while the drop was coming back in. Just kind of threw it at his opponent. But of course, Maru had scouted that a while ago. And, you know, it is nice to be able to get into both a Dark Shrine and Blink at the same time, but it does slow down the rest of your build, slows down the rest of your tech. So MAXPAX not being able to get anything done with that, that kind of sucks. That does slow him down a fair bit. We will see this Widow Mine drop for now the third time coming back in. And we are going to see another probe pull. Would love to see Maru retargeting. Nope, not going to go for that. But forcing as much lost mining time as he has, he's gotten very good value. Very, very good value out of this. Oh, and now the Cyclone Raven. Oh, it will potentially get picked off here. It does lose the Cyclone. Raven, of course, would be the much more valuable target. But getting that Cyclone is still nice consolation. Oh, man, actually, I really prefer... I don't know, what do you think? Do you think he could have gotten the Raven?
I think he could have gone... He might have... No, I think he would have gone the Raven because the lock-on had already been used on the DT. And it almost looked like the Cyclone was on a move command as opposed to a attack command. So I don't think he had to worry about the Cyclone at all. I think he should have just jumped on the Raven. Losing two Stalkers here to those tanks for free. A little tough there for MAXPAX.
Yeah, that's really expensive. He's already pretty decently behind. And you cannot afford to lose really any units in a situation like this. We've already got a significant supply lead for Maru. He is looking really good here. Really, really good in game number 2. We do have the command center being started on location, but of course this big timing push with Stim, with combat shields, with +1 weapons is getting rolling. I believe there's either no Colossus or just one Colossus on the field. Charge will be done in time, but I mean, there's just not a lot of army right here for MAXPAX.
No, not at all. And Maru has quite a bit of army on his side. 3 tanks, decent force fields, but there's not much. Even with the force field, he doesn't have the units to do anything with it. Nice disable coming down on the Immortal. Static D does not finish up there. This third base is going to potentially go. It will go down here. I am willing to bet my shoe on it. It does go down. I'm not going to eat my shoe. I'm just going to bet it. But MAXPAX on the other side is going to delay the third base a little bit with that DT. That DT should get cleaned up with these Marauders. Ooh, it just gets away with 3 hit points. All right, another push coming on here. Disable coming down on the Colossi. Maru gonna stim forward here. Gonna focus down this... was focusing on the Immortal. Chooses not to. Does take out the Gateway, and now gonna start shelling away and start a contain on MAXPAX in his natural.
Yeah, at this point, there is nothing you can do as the Protoss player. He's fully locked into this base. Robotics facility going down at, you know, what, like 99% on that Colossus, so it just adds insult to injury. MAXPAX is going to stay in here for a little while longer, but, I mean, Maru's got him in, to quote Tasteless on Artosis, he's got him in a Muay Thai clench. Robotics facility tries to be rebuilt there and is instantly killed. I mean, there's just nothing you can do when the Terran has this kind of position on you.
And you have that bio parade coming across the map, more reinforcements showing up. It doesn't matter. GG gets called. Maru taking the series and moving on to the winners match.